Everybody now should be familiar with the bones, joints, bony landmarks, and purposes of each of these structures. We've been assessed thoroughly on these previously, and here's a nice slide that just kind of reminds you of the kind of things that we will expect you to be working with and developing your understanding of and what their purpose is. So I'm not going to review all of that for you, but you've got that there for your revision. Same goes for the joints. We'll just clarify what we're dealing with here. So we've got the acromioclavicular joint, sternoclavicular joint, and its associated costoclavicular joint there. We've got the glenohumeral joint here, and on the anterior surface of the scapula, and the posterior surface of the upper ribs, we have the scapulothoracic joint, which, as you know, is not a true joint. It's not a synovial joint, but these three are. And then we've got a number of ligaments that relate to these joints and structures. So we've got the acromioclavicular ligament, we've got the sternoclavicular ligament, that would be the costoclavicular ligament. We have the coracoclavicular ligament, which is formed by the trapezoid ligament and the conoid ligament. So trapezoid and conoid ligament complex. We have the superior, middle, and inferior glenohumeral ligaments. You know that the inferior glenohumeral ligament is a little bit looser and acts somewhat like a hammock and will be stretched and activated when the arm is being elevated above head height. We have the coracoacromial ligament running over there, completing the coracoacromial arch, which is the fibrous aspect of that, and this is the osseo aspect of that. We have the coracohumeral ligament, and we have the transverse humeral ligament, and we have the costoclavicular ligament, sternoclavicular ligament, as identified earlier. So there's quite a lot on there, and if you weren't instantly recognising them, hopefully now that helps. Muscles of the shoulder. So obviously, in simple terms, you could lump these into the more kind of girdle movements, muscles, and the glenohumeral muscles. So you've been encouraged to learn all of these previously, and this means that you have to keep knowing them and using your knowledge of them. So you know that trapezius is a large superficial muscle, kite-shaped on the posterior aspect of the neck and back. You know, the rhomboids, minor and major, sit underneath that. You know, the scapulae sits underneath the trapezius, to the upper cervical vertebrae. We know about the pectoralis minor, which sits underneath pectoralis major and attaches to ribs 3, 4, and 5. We know about serratus anterior, which runs from the anterior medial border of the scapula and attaches to ribs 1 to 9. And those would be your shoulder girdle muscles. And then we have the glenohumeral muscles. So we've got the deltoids, which has anterior, posterior, and middle fibers. Superficial, attaching around the lateral clavicle scapula. Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis, which forms the rotator cuff. Deep muscles, tiny little muscles, but essential to optimal functioning for the shoulder. We know about teres major, which sits just inferior to teres minor on the lateral border of the scapula, and just comes around to the inside of the upper humerus, just below the crest of the lesser tubercle. So that technically is not part of the rotator cuff, but is an important adductor and medial rotator of the glenohumeral joint and works in close association with latissimus dorsi. So latissimus dorsi is another superficial muscle, base of the back from thoracolumbar fascia, runs over the lateral sides of the lower ribs, has some attachment there, and then comes in just in front of teres major and inserts to the crest of the tubercle. Pectoralis major, anterior muscle, large costal attachment, sternal attachment, clavicular attachment. Clavicular fibers just run down on top of the sternal fibers, and that inserts to the crest of the greater tubercle. Biceps brachii, running from the supraglenoid tubercle and the coracoid process down to the biceps tuberosity on the radius. Reactions for that muscle, in fact, so it flexes the shoulder, flexes the elbow, and supinates the forearm. And then triceps brachii on the posterior aspect of the arm has an attachment to the infraglenoid tubercle, and then two heads on the posterior humerus, either side of the radial nerve, and that comes down and inserts to the olecranon process. And then you've got the coracobrachialis, a very small muscle just at the side of pectoralis minor, and associated closely with biceps brachii. It just has an attachment to the medial third of the humerus.